Bismillahi walhamdulillahi assalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, my dear brothers. Today, since the past 2-3 days, Ramadan has already started. So Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak to all of you. I hope and I pray that may this be a really blessed month for us. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide us and keep us steadfast on his guidance. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So today, inshallah, we are starting a new surah, Surah Tauha. And we'll try our best to cover from ayah number 1 until 46, a quick introduction about the surah. So this surah was revealed in Makkah. It has about 135 ayahs. And the name of this surah, Tauha, is taken from the start with the huruf-e muqatta'at that we will inshallah go through. These are the disjoint letters that come at the start of some of the surahs, and the meaning of these is only known by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Tauha is also considered to be one of the names of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The context is that this was revealed before the migration because it's a Makkan surah, so it was revealed in Makkah, and mostly it deals with the topic of the origin and resurrection of human beings. And we will go through the story of Musa alayhi salam in detail. Inshallah, today we will start that story, and then about 80 verses of this surah or 80 ayahs of this surah are dedicated to this story alone. And finally, we'll also go through the story of Prophet Adam alayhi salam and Hawa salamun alayha, and how Shaitan tempted them to eat from the forbidden tree. So this is overall, and inshallah, the stories will continue to unfold as we go through this surah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Tauha, as I mentioned, these are huruf-e muqatta'at, meaning that the meaning of these letters is only known, and they come in multiple surahs, and the meaning of these letters is only known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some of the Islamic scholars try to infer its meaning and try to create a logic. However, most of the Islamic scholars believe that the meaning of these words is known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. Ma anzalna alayka al-Qur'ana litashqa. We have not sent down to you the Quran that you be distressed, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What was happening is that the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all the revelations were obviously coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was sharing the guidance of Quran and the ayahs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with people, and he was facing very severe resistance from the chiefs of Makkah, from the mushriks who were living in Makkah, and he used to get distressed because he truly, obviously, he was getting the revelation directly, and he was seeing things that were not known to people. So he was really getting under stress. Why are these people not listening to me? And he truly wanted to save them. And we are his ummah. So he was truly worried about the people, especially those who were giving him a really hard time, and they were just not believing. And because he was getting the revelation himself, and he knew how real it is, he knew that it is a word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how real the day of judgment is, and eventually people will be punished, those who do not listen to the message, and those who do not ask for forgiveness and correct their ways and come on the right path, that he really used to drain himself and get distressed on the situation of people when he was talking to them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has reassured the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that you should not get stressed, and this is what we have seen in previously in the previous lessons as well. So we have not sent down to you the Quran that you be distressed, illa tadhkiratal liman yakhsha, but as a reminder for those who fear. So this is a reminder for those people who fear, and the ayahs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should serve as a reminder for us. And one of the definitions of taqwa, the word taqwa, is also to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala much. And this fear is not like a threatening fear that we have. No, this fear is like when you love someone, you are fearful that you don't want to offend them. So you try to please them. And if you truly love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will fear that you don't want to offend Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you will try to do your best to do the things that have been enjoined upon you, what you should do, the halal things and the good deeds, and you will try to refrain yourself from doing haram things or bad deeds so that you're not offending Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the fear that is being talked about. So this is coming as a reminder. This book continues to remind us for those people who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and also who fear the day of judgment, so that because it's like the result day. A lot of the students, those students, for example, you're going into an exam, and those students who are doing bad in the exam or doing bad in the test and they haven't prepared well and they're not taking the right actions, they're always fearful of the day of result. They don't want the result to even come out. However, the students who are doing good, who are studying well, they're looking forward to get some A stars, good grades and good GPAs in the university. They are the ones who are keen to know, right? So the fear of day of judgment as well, and multiple fears that come when you're not on the right path. Tanzilam mimman khalaqal arda was samawatil ula. A revelation is from him who created the earth and the heavens, and he made them high. So this is a revelation coming from your creator. This is the revelation coming from him who has created the earth and the heavens and the high heavens, which are in the skies. Ar-Rahmanu alal arshis tawa, the most gracious, who is sitting over the throne and it's established. He established the throne and he's sitting on it. He's the most gracious. He's Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ardi wa ma bainahuma wa ma tahta thara. To him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth and whatever is between them and whatever is under the soil. So the things that we see, the things that we don't see, everything belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All is his creation. Everything is his creation. And you can, and we witness this because it's not like we carry anything away with us. All of the human beings that have been coming, and even all of the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be it animals, be it plants, be it human beings, they all die and then new ones come and they get replaced. Same is the case of human beings, generation after generation. Same is the case with plants. They are, they sprout up and they grow and then they turn dead, or they, they dry away. Similarly with animals. So there is no species or no creation that can say, I've been, I'm alive since I don't know how many thousand years. So the reality is that we'll all die and we'll all go away. So the true owner of everything, the true inheritor of everything, is the entity that retains everything and is the owner of everything, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because first of all of this is his creation. And second of all, he's the one who is staying forever. Abdullah, you have your hand raised. Please go ahead. Abdullah, you have a comment?
Yes, sir. There's some sort of a connectivity issue on your side.
Can all of you guys listen to me well? Anyone else can comment if the voice is okay, connectivity is okay. Otherwise, I try changing the internet. The rest of you guys are listening to me well? Other than Abdullah, anyone else? Guys, you can unmute yourself and let me know. It's fine. So somebody just mentioned it's fine. Okay, let's continue. And let me know, guys, if in case... okay, so another Awais also said that the voice is clear. Okay. Okay. Sayyid Faiz also, no problems. Okay, Jazakumullahu khairan to all of you. Abdullah, maybe you can check connectivity from your side. Maybe other students are able to listen. Anyways, let's continue. And inshallah, I will upload the video, Abdullah. So if anything gets missed from your side, you can review and replay the video, inshallah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the owner, and he's the owner of everything, because eventually he's the one who has created everything and he's the owner. Moving forward. وَإِن تَجْهَرْ بِالْقَوْلِ فَإِنَّهُ يَعْلَمُ السِّرَّ وَأَخْفَى. And if you speak a louder word, then indeed he knows, and the more hidden secret as well. So regardless of if we are talking loudly to people and we feel that, oh, people are listening and people are getting to know, or we are in secrecy hiding something, or in secretly speaking to someone, or even keeping it in our hearts, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything. So regardless of you reveal something or you discuss something to others or not, and regardless of you yourself keep it within you as a secret, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything. Now this has an implication. So which is why I want you guys to answer a question. So basically what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying is we are never alone. So, and there is no secrecy. So there is no secret that we can keep, right? What does this mean? Who will explain this to me? The previous ayah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. And what is the implication for us? What does this mean for us? Anyone, whatever comes to your mind, unmute yourself and, share whatever view. And by the way, there is no right, no wrong answer. You can speak up and tell me whatever you're thinking. So what do you think this means? We are never alone and there is no secret or there's no secrecy. Why have I written this statement? Anyone? Whatever comes to your mind. Try to speak up, not on the chat. Yes, Omar, go ahead.
Allah is the creator of everything. So he is everywhere. And if he is the creator of everything, then how can we hide from him? It just makes no sense. How can we hide from him if he is the creator?
Jazakallahu khairan, Umar, and you're right. So he's the creator and he has absolute knowledge and he is watching us, right? So that means that we are never alone and there is no such thing as a secret, especially with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, you can keep a secret from other human beings. You can hide what you're saying or something, or a secret from one person to another. But what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, regardless of we say something out or we keep it as a secret, he knows everything. Why have I paused here and why have I put this up as a question? Because this has an implication for us. And what is that implication? What is the important thing that I want you guys to note? Shaitan always whispers to us when we think we are alone. When we are alone, nobody is watching us. It's okay. And what he says is, do it. Nobody is watching. No one's watching. You can, just have a look at it or fine. I mean, you were watching a video on, on internet, on TV, on your mobile. There's no one, and either it's night or whatever. Your parents have already slept, or your parents are outside and you're watching something. The shaitan will say, continue, watch. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Or when you're alone, we think we are alone. So this is the illusion of being alone created by shaitan to whisper to our ears that, just do it. It's okay. I mean, it's nothing. Yeah. I mean, we can ask for forgiveness later, and especially with your friends. So if you're alone, you can do whatever. And both friends are keeping secret, or it can be opposite gender as well. A girl and a boy, they think that they are alone. So they can do anything, right? And it is said, and it's part, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says that, they're not two human beings, or especially a male and a female, and shaitan is the third of them. I think it's a hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this thing is very important. Shaitan puts this waswasa in our mind that you are alone and no one's watching. So you can do whatever you want. Similarly, when there are 2, 3, 4 friends and they're trying to be, creative and trying to do some stuff, they think that, they can keep a secret. And anyways, who would get to know about it? And anyways, I am alone, right? So this thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the previous ayah is telling us that no matter what we reveal, what we say out loud, or whatever we keep to ourselves as a secret, everything is known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a fake illusion. Illusion is something. What is illusion? Illusion is something that, is something fake. It's not real. It's something that shaitan whispers in our mind. This fake illusion of being alone and that no one can hold you accountable is what causes majority of the sins. A lot of the people perform these sins because they feel that, they can either get away with it, and because they are alone, or because no one will be holding them accountable. So the action for us is, and this is a very, very important action, and I want you guys to keep these images in your mind. The pictures that I've put up, these are CCTV cameras. These are cameras, right? They're used for surveillance. Always remember that we are not alone. And in fact, our life is being recorded all the time via CCTV cameras. and it will be played back on the day of judgment. On the day of judgment, it will be played back. Now, at the time of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when there were no such cameras, no such surveillance systems, and everything else, people would have been thinking, so he's saying everything is recorded. What does it mean? How will our life play back? But now today, guys, in front of us, based on technology, we know everything can be recorded. In fact, in some of the areas outside, when you go, there are some surveillance cameras from the government in order to check the law and order situation. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clearly saying that everything is being seen, everything is being heard, everything is being recorded. And this, whatever you have done as a test that you were, as a test of your life, the result of this will be revealed on the day of judgment. So I want you to remember this image. There are CCTV camera in your house, in your room, in your own room, under your blanket when you are, you have your blanket over and you're on your mobile phone. So this CCTV camera is watching you everywhere and you cannot hide, even when you're in the washroom and everything, right? So it's very difficult to hide from this CCTV camera. So what is the action for us? That only true believing above fact can help. So when we only truly believe in the above fact that we are being watched and we keep this image of CCTV cameras in our mind, then this can only help us to become better practicing Muslims every day. Because majority of the sins, a lot of time the sins are happening because people feel that they are alone, or people think they can get away with it, or people think that they won't be accountable. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, everything is being watched, be it you reveal it and you say it loud, or you keep it as a secret, or be it something in our heart alone. So one secret is that two friends are, saying, let's not tell anyone, let's not tell anyone. Two friends are saying, this is one secret. And one secret is that something that a thought or something that came to your heart, even that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. So let alone, the discussion between two friends and everything else. So always, I want you guys to always remember this image throughout your lives. CCTV cameras are always watching you and they are recording you, and it will be played on the day of judgment. Moving forward. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no God except him. Lahul asma'ul husna. To him belong the names, the most beautiful names. What are names? Names give us some attribute. So for example, my name is Adeel. It comes from the root word Adeel, means the person who does justice, right? It's an attribute. However, the most beautiful, the highest judge, the best of the judge is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself, because he has the absolute knowledge. So similarly, all of the most beautiful names, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the absolute knowledge and he's the creator and he's perfect, belong to him. So they are all his traits, they are all his qualities that are perfect, because human beings cannot be perfect. So all of the beautiful names belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَهَلْ أَتَاكَ حَدِيثُ مُوسَى. And has come to you the narration of Musa. So now the story of Musa alayhi salam will reveal, as we discussed at the start in the introduction of the surah. There are almost 80 ayahs dedicated within this surah for the story of Musa alayhi salam. So let's go through it. إِذْ رَأَى نَارًا فَقَالَ لِأَهْلِهِمْ كُثُوا إِنِّي آنَسْتُ نَارًا لَعَلِّي آتِيكُمْ مِنْهَا بِقَبَسٍ أَوْ أَجِدُ عَلَى النَّارِ هُدًى. When he saw a fire, then he said to his family. So basically, he was traveling, and over a mountain, there was the place where he saw a light or a fire, and he said to his family, "Stay here. Indeed, I perceived a fire. I've seen a fire or a light. Perhaps I can bring you therefrom a burning brand or something. I can bring in some fire for us to utilize, because imagine that they are traveling in between, and in those times, fire it used to help them to keep warm and everything, or even to cook their food and all. Or I find at the fire some guidance. So maybe there are some people and we can find our way, we can confirm where we are going." So this is what he said, and he left his family and moved towards that place where he saw. فَلَمَّا آتَاهَا نُودِيَ يَا Musa. Then when he came to it, he was called, "O Musa." So we know Musa alayhi salam was a prophet to whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to have a conversation with directly. So he used to have a dialogue with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly. So when he came to that place, Allah subhanahu, this is the time of the first revelation to Musa alayhi salam. So he was called by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly, O Musa. Inni ana rabbuka faqla na alayk. Indeed, I am your Lord, so remove your shoes. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing Musa alayhi salam, and as a matter of respect, he's being asked to remove the shoes. Why? Innaka bil wadil muqaddisi tuwa. Indeed, you are in the sacred valley of Tuwa. So Tuwa was the name of the valley, and he was in a sacred place. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of steam of that sacred place, asked him to, out of respect, remove his shoes and come forward. So this is, he's being prepped to receive the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa anakhtartuka fastami' lima yuhya. And I have chosen you, so listen to what is revealed. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he was the chosen one. The prophets and the messengers are the chosen one from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Innani ana Allahu la ilaha illa ana fa'budni wa aqim as-salata li dhikri. Indeed, I am Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Indeed, I am Allah. There is no God but I, so worship me. We went through the description of the word Allah. Allah means, it's a combination of two words. Al in Arabic is used for the, and then ilah. Ilah means God, someone who is worshipped, someone who is loved, and someone who is feared. So this is the definition of the word ilah, right? So Allah is that combination. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't need to even explain the word Allah, although there is one part of explanation that is coming, which is worship me. So worship me. I am Allah, meaning I am the only Ilah, the one who should be worshipped, the one who should be feared and loved at the same time, right? So indeed, I am Allah. There is no God, there is no Ilah, but me, meaning I am Allah. So worship me. So this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying to Musa alayhi salam, wa aqim as-salata li dhikri, and establish the prayer for my remembrance. Now you see the instructions that are being given. And if you see the pattern of this instruction related to oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, related to prayer, related to zakat, we see it being revealed to multiple prophets. So the message of Islam remained the same from the first prophet until the last prophet, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. However, it was completed in its entire form in the Sharia law on what to do, what not to do with the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was the last prophet. Inna sa'ata atiyatun akadu ukhfiha litujza kullu nafsim bima tas'a. Indeed, the hour will be coming, I almost hide it, that may be recompense every soul for what it strives. So here the day of judgment is also being mentioned. All of these messages were consistent. So when Allah SWT revealed Torah to Musa alayhi salam, when he revealed Injil to Isa alayhi salam, when he revealed Zabur to Dawud alayhi salam, and then the Holy Quran to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the messages were consistent. So when the Christians and the Jews were opposing the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the Quran reminded them that in your books, before you had made changes to them in Injil and in Torah, there was a mention of the last prophet as well, and similar teachings were given to you. However, they did not want to accept him because of their own politics and because they thought he will be coming from their own lineage and their own line of family. So which is why they rejected the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also they made changes to their books and everything. So you can see the message was consistent. Even when Isa alayhi salam came, he opposed the Jews because they were sharing a different version of Torah. Their rabbis and their Islamic leaders were sharing different version of Torah, and which is why he challenged them, and that's why they went against him. And he was also revealed parts of the Torah by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was taught that so that he can oppose them, because he came. So there was Musa alayhi salam, Torah was revealed to him. Later on, changes were made in that book. Then Isa alayhi salam came, he challenged, and then he was also given Injil as a book. And then later on, Christian also changed that book, and it became the Old Testament and the New Testament and everything. I'm just recapping it as a summary so that you understand the logical order, and you also understand that the message of Islam, the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, was consistent. However, with the last prophet, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was completed in its entirety, and which is why it is formed as a Sharia law. And because the message was completed, so which is why he is the last prophet, and no other prophet will follow. Moving forward, فَلَا يَسُدَّنَّكَ أَنْهَا مَنْ لَا يُؤْمِنُ بِهَا وَاتَّبَعَ هَوَاهُ فَتَرْضَى. So do not let avert you from it one who does not believe in it and follows his desires, lest you perish. So if you follow your desire, and if you follow a person who's not following the guidance, and he's fulfilling his desires alone, he's working for this life, he's just focused on this world, then you should not get distracted from that person. This is also true for us today. We see a lot of people and we have a lot of inspiration. Look at that person, he's so successful, he's so well off, and he's having a party in his life, and he's enjoying, he has cars and whatever, he has a big factory and he's doing parties and all of that, even consuming alcohol and having so much fun. So don't follow, don't make him an inspiration. That is a wrong inspiration. As I was discussing earlier, the point to note at this point in time, if you see the instructions given to Musa alayhi salam from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all prophets were given the same message of Islam. However, it was completed with the last prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we have it preserved in the form of the Holy Quran and explained to us by the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his hadith, as well as exemplified, or he showed us how to implement it in his personal and public life in the form of Sunnah as well. So we have all these final instructions and complete instructions preserved in the form of Quran, Hadith, and Sunnah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ Ya Musa, and what is that in your right hand, O Musa? So at that point in time, Musa alayhi salam was carrying his stick, or which is called the asa, and it was used for multiple reasons, and you will see how Musa alayhi salam explains him the use and everything. So Allah SWT asked, what is in your right hand? And he's carrying his stick, the big stick, Musa alayhi salam. Qala hiya asaya. He said, it is my staff, it is my stick. Atawakka'u alayha wa ahushu biha ala ghanami waliya fiha maribu ukhra. So he said, it's my staff, I lean upon it. So if I need to rest, then, if I cannot find something to rest or to lie down, then I lean upon it, and I bring down leaves with it for my sheep. So I use it to hit the trees, and then leaves fall and my sheep can eat it. And for me in it, there are other multiple uses that I use it for, maybe to defend himself from something, or maybe, he's carrying his stick. Qala alqiha ya Musa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, throw it down, O Musa. So Musa alayhi salam left his stick on the ground. What happened? فَأَلْقَاهَا فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ تَسْعَى. So he threw it down, and behold, it was moving swiftly like a snake. So this is a miracle that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to Musa alayhi salam, which we'll see in the latest story of Firaun, how it will be used. So he was given this, and I think we have discussed it. Yes, we have discussed it in multiple lessons earlier as well. So basically, this he threw his stick down, and that staff or stick, it turned into a moving snake. Qala khuzha wala takhaf. He said, seize it and do not fear. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, don't fear, just try to hold it. Sanu'iduha sirataha al-ula. We will return it to its original state. So once you will throw it, it turns into a snake, but when you grab it, it will turn into a staff and stick alone, like a normal stick as before. So this is a miracle that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to Musa alayhi salam. وَازْمُمْ يَدَكَ إِلَى جَنَاحِكَ تَخْرُجْ بَيْضَاءَ مِنْ غَيْرِ سُوءٍ آيَاتًا أُخْرَى. And draw near your hand to your side, it will come out white without any disease and as another sign. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him another miracle, and he put his arm under his armpit, and when he brought it out, then it was almost like glowing, and it was all white. This was again a miracle for people to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's message as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is preparing Musa alayhi salam to go and confront Firaun and his followers. لِنُرِيَكَ مِنْ آيَاتِنَا الْكُبْرَى. That we may show you of our greatest signs. So these are amazing signs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to Musa alayhi salam, and for his followers and Firaun and his people and all the people to believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving him his miracles. idhab ila fir'auna innahu tagha. Go to Fir'aun, indeed he has transgressed. Okay. Qala rabbi shrah li sadri. He said, now this is an amazing dua of Musa alayhi salam. And I will go through this dua and I will ask you, have you listened to it recently or not? Qala rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. So this is one dua, it's a small prayer. It's coming over 4 ayahs. When do you guys listen to it? Have you heard it recently? Who will tell me? Who will answer? Let's see how many you are attentive. Yes, Shayan, go ahead.
Basically, this is a dua that is recited. So before you give a speech, a presentation or something, basically it's so that you're fluent and that you ask Allah to make it, to make the speech that I'm giving better, or that the people listen to it. And yeah.
Excellent. Jazakallah khairan, Shayan, you're right. And the reason why I asked is, have you listened to it recently? Is I also try to recite it every time at the start of the lesson. So even today I recited. But anyway, so the meaning of this is, he said, "Oh my Lord, expand for me my breast." Expanding the breast means that open up, because when you are about to speak, it's a sign of confidence. When a person is like this and he's, standing in up front tall and he's speaking, it's a sign of confidence, and it gives you, you get a little bit more air inside, so you are more confident. So this is, he's asking, expand for me my breast, and also expand for me my breast in terms of knowledge, and give me that big heart, and also give me that courage. Wayassirli amri, and ease for me my task. It was a big task going to Fir'aun, who is the king of that time. He's a tyrant. Musa alayhi salam, going in front of him, he could have done anything. So he's saying, and he's praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to, and ease for me my task. Wahlul uqdatam min lisani, and untie the knot from my tongue. It is being said, some of the Islamic scholars also quote that maybe Musa alayhi salam had this difficulty speaking, and it also means that untie the knot from my tongue is whatever I speak becomes impactful. It influences people. They understand. My speech is so simple to understand, and my speech goes inside the hearts and mind of people, and they take the right meaning that I want to say. So, and untie the knot from my tongue. Yafqahu qawli, that they may understand my speech. This is an amazing dua and prayer. Jazakallahu khairan, Shayan, for already presenting the next slide, which is the action for us is to learn this short prayer and recite it whenever you are speaking, either in public or even in a shorter group, or entering into a debate or an argument, or for any other communication. It can be one-to-one communication. It can be if you are trying to convince someone and you believe you have the right argument. So you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it much more easier for you, to give you the confidence to untie your tongue, and so that you can articulate. Articulate means the choice of words when you're speaking. This is articulation. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you articulation. He gives you the right words when you are speaking, so that other people understand what you're trying to say, and the speech becomes convincing. So try to learn this dua. It's a very short dua. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. And try to use it as much as possible, even in if you go to your school, to your university, or to your work, to your office, or even if you are having discussion where you have to convince someone within your family, within your personal discussion, anywhere, even publicly. This is an amazing dua to make your communication more effective. So, you go through multiple courses in communication, and there are different courses that are available on presentation skills, how to communicate effectively, and how to pass on your message. And there is a sender and there is a receiver. In between there is a message, and the message should go in the right protocol, in the right wavelength. There are multiple adaptations to it. If you go through it from a communications standpoint, or from a software engineering standpoint, or from a leadership standpoint, or from organization management standpoint, there are multiple angles to being effective in your communication. Regardless of what angle you study, this dua or this prayer is the best lesson on effective communication, and is the best way to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help when you're about to communicate. And communication also can mean if you're writing a tough email, or if you have to write a tough document, or if you have to create a nice presentation, whatever you are doing, you try to make this dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make your task easier and more effective and your communication better. So I hope this point is clear. We can move forward. Waj'alli waziram min ahli, and appoint for me a minister from my family. A minister here means also someone who can help, someone who is in aid for me, who can help me. Haruna akhi, Harun my brother. So his Musa alayhi salam's brother was with him as well. So he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make him his accomplice, to make him his companion in this tough task when he is about to go and face Firaun. Ashdud bihi azri, reinforce through him my strength. So give me a partner, make us a team. Wa ashrikhu fi amri, and make him share in my task, and make him a companion in my task. Make my task easier by dividing it between the two of us so that we can share a task. This is a typical, again, this is a lesson in team management. When you have a team, when you're working as a team, you're more effective versus if you're working alone. And similarly, when he will share the task, it will make it easier, it will lessen the burden, right? So it's an amazing lesson on communication, team management, leadership as well. Kay nusabbihaka kathira, that we may glorify you much, wa nadhkuraka kathira, and we may remember you much. So what is he asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So he asked everything. He did this amazing prayer. And then he didn't say that I need an army, I need a guard who is very strong and big and tall. He didn't ask for any material thing or anything. He's asking all of this so that he may glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala much, and we may remember you much. So why is glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala important? Because, when you are convinced on something, when you believe someone, you start glorifying and praising them. So for example, let's say there is, I don't know, there are some athletes. So there's a superstar and you are very impressed with them, or it can be a speaker, motivational speaker, or it can be a teacher who really impresses you. So what do you do when you are meeting, and when you are meeting other people, you start to praise them. You say, I met this person, this is amazing, or I saw that cricketer or that footballer and he was playing amazing, and he's this. You start to glorify them. So what is Musa alayhi salam about to do? What is the task that is given to him? He has to go to Firaun, confront the most powerful ruler at that point in time, and convince him on oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for that, glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is important, that he's the creator, he's the creator of the heavens and the earth. He's the most perfect one. He's hearing everything. He has the absolute knowledge. He's the one who created you, and he's the one who created me. So this sort of argument requires glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so this is, now we are getting on the content of the communication. So earlier he asked the ability to communicate. Now he's praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the content of communication. So he's saying, enable us to glorify you in the perfect of words, so that they can be convincing for Firaun and his chiefs and his ministers and everyone who will be there. And we may remember you much as well. So why remembrance? Because to create fear also of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to stay on the right path. Innaka kunta bina basira, indeed you are of us all seer. So you are looking at everything, you are watching over everything. So this is also mean as a sign of protection. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching over Musa alayhi salam and his brother Harun, so that they are so as a way of protecting them as well. Qala qad utita su'laka ya Musa. He said, verily you are granted your request, O Musa. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala listened to the prayer of Musa alayhi salam, and everything that he asked was granted. Walaqad mananna alayka marratan ukhra, and indeed we conferred a favor on you another time. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues the story of Musa alayhi salam in another angle, when he was born and what was the situation. is awhayna ila ummika ma yuhya. When we inspired to your mother what is inspired. Now, what is this? This means is, at the time when Musa alayhi salam was born, the Pharaoh of that time, not this Pharaoh that who he's supposed to meet, but the previous Pharaoh who was the father of this Pharaoh, he was very cruel to Bani Israel, and he used to kill their sons. And we have read this in previous lessons as well, that they used to kill your sons and leave your daughters and humiliate you and all of that. That was happening with the children of Israel. So what was happening is they were killing all sons. So now Musa alayhi salam's mother was really worried that they may come and the guards would come and snatch. Whenever they used to hear that a son is born, they used to snatch and kill them, because they wanted to eliminate the entire generation so that no one can stand up against the cruelty of the Pharaoh. So this was a law, let's say, law of the land that was established. Any son born to Bani Israel or the children of Israel would be killed and taken away. So when Musa alayhi salam was born, and this is again a miracle, this story again is a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how he protects the one he wants to protect. So Musa alayhi salam, when he was born, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to her or gave her this idea and inspired this idea to her in order to protect what she should do. And now we will go through what she should do. Aniqdifihi fit tabuti faqdifihi fil yammi falyulqihil yammu bis sahili ya'khuzuhu aduwwun li wa aduwwun lah. That cast him in the chest. So create like a chest or a wood or something, then place Musa alayhi salam in that and cast it in the river, and then let the river move it to a place on the bank, and the enemy will take him. So someone from the enemies will take him to me and an enemy to him. So basically Pharaoh and his people were the enemy of Musa alayhi salam because they were killing all the children of Israel, and they were also enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because they were cruel. So what happened is, when his mother Musa alayhi salam's mother placed him in a casket, it was like a wooden piece or a small, and she made it flow on the river. His sister Musa alayhi salam, she asked, the mother also asked Musa alayhi salam's sister to just watch over him, what happens, the baby. So and her name is said to be Maryam. So his sister Maryam, she was walking alongside, and she was watching the baby float. So what happened is that the baby and the casket, that was picked up by the guards and it was taken to the palace. So at that point in time, Pharaoh's the earlier Pharaoh's, his wife was, and they did not know if it is from Bani Israel or whose child that is. And when it was brought to the wife of Pharaoh, her name was Asiya, Salamun alayha, Hazrat Asiya. She was the wife of Pharaoh. When she saw the baby, she said, oh, and she, at that point in time, she did not have a baby, so she said that she would adopt him. So she adopted Musa alayhi salam, and she convinced Pharaoh of that time that, he's a small baby and we don't have and he's a cute little boy and we don't have a baby, so let us adopt and raise him with us. So he said, fine, I mean, and they did not even know from where he's coming, and they said, okay, fine, we will raise. And now you see another miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is something that is happening. He's been taken, and now Hazrat Asiya Salamun alayha said that we will keep him, and now he was adopted and he is now an infant young baby. So wa alqaitu alayka mahabbatam minni, and I cast over you love from me. And you see how the love was casted, because apparently Pharaoh and his family and everyone was enemy to Bani Israel, and obviously Hazrat Asiya Salamun alayha is said to be very kind-hearted and very noble, despite the fact that she was the wife of Pharaoh, but she was very noble. And later on we learned to know that she also started believing. When Musa alayhi salam brought in the message, she believed in him, and she accepted Islam from Musa alayhi salam as well. And later on she was tormented under the cruelty of the Pharaoh at that time, who was her own son. So he was raised, and Musa alayhi salam is being sent to that Pharaoh who is the son of Hazrat Asiya. So this is the entire story. So she took him, walitus na'a ala aini, and that you may be brought up under my eye. So she took him, and she was being brought up under the supervision of Hazrat Asiya. Salamun alayha. Is tamshi ukhtuka fataqulu hal adullukum ala man yakfulu. When was going your sister and she said, shall I show you to the one who will nurse and rear him? So what is said is, once she took him for multiple days, Musa alayhi salam refused to take feed from anyone, and she tried multiple women and she tried to feed him with different ways, but he used to cry, and this was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's way of look at what is the connection that will be made. So what happened is, his sister Maryam, who was following him, and she saw that he was picked, so she went to Asya salamun alayha, and she told her that, I know someone, a lady who can feed him, and the baby will not refuse her milk. So he kept on refusing milk of all of them. فَرَجَعْنَاكَ إِلَىٰ أُمِّكَ كَيْ تَقَرَّ عَيْنُهَا وَلَا تَحْزَنْ. Now, obviously, Musa alayhi salam's mother here was, she was really sad and depressed that her baby has gone into, and she didn't know. And obviously, she knew that now her daughter, Maryam, she told her that, he's with the wife of Firaun, and anyways, and she's taking care of her and trying to care, but however, he's crying and everything. So Maryam told Asya alayhi salam, salamun alayha, that, there is a female I know who can feed him and he will not refuse the milk. So we return to you, to your mother, that maybe cooled her eyes. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cooled her eyes and she does not grieve. So she was asked, his original mother was asked to come to the palace and feed Musa alayhi salam. So this is how he was reunited with his mother, and his life was also spared, and he lived under the protection of the palace and the same Firaun to whom later on he would also challenge. So this is the miraculous way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on how Musa alayhi salam was protected. He was casted in a small wooden place in a river, picked up by the enemies, then protected by Asya salamun alayha, and then eventually reunited with his mother, because he refused to take the feed as a small baby. He refused to take the feed of any mother, and this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reunited him with his original mother, and she came in as well. Another story that happened later on, وَقَتَلْتَ نَفْسًا فَنَجَّيْنَاكَ مِنَ الْغَمِّ وَفَتَنَّاكَ فُتُونًا. So another story that happened is, and you killed a man, but we saved you from the distress, and we tried you with a trial. So what happened is, it is said when Musa alayhi salam grew up, obviously he was really strong, and he went into an argument with a person, and I think he hit him, and when he hit him, then that person died. So his intention was not to kill him. Musa alayhi salam's intention was not to kill him, but because he was strong and everything, when he hit him the way he hit him, it caused him to die, and then people came after his life and they wanted to do this. So this was a very tough period for Musa alayhi salam, and he took away, and he moved away on foot, and he had to move out of his land. Falabista sinina fi ahli Madian. Then you remained some years with the people of Madian. So he moved away and he moved into the area of the people of the Madian, and that's where he resided and he lived. Wallahu alam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the exact events that happened. Summa jikta ala qadarin ya Musa. Then you came at the decreed time, O Musa. Then he came back after some years, and now he's being set up again to challenge the Firaun. And this Firaun is the son later on who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Asya salamun alayha also a son, who was the son of that Firaun, and he was now the Firaun, and he also became cruel. And to him Musa alayhi salam will now go and challenge with his brother Harun. وَاسْتَنَعْتُكَ لِنَفْسِي, and I have chosen you for myself. Now this is beautiful way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he is saying to Musa alayhi salam, and I have chosen you for myself. And there's an explanation in another Tafsir al-Qurtubi, that is, I have chosen you for my revelation and my message, which is the Torah. We know the Torah was given to Musa alayhi salam. Or created you for myself, or strengthened and taught you as to how to preach my message to my worshippers. This is the special mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on Musa alayhi salam. اذهب أنت وأخوك بآياتي ولا تنيا في ذكري. Go, you and your brother, with my signs, and do not slacken in my remembrance. So now, after telling the story, whatever happened previously, now Musa alayhi salam, as he was prepared, and he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also for help, and for his brother Harun to be supporting him. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling them, now you're ready, you're prepared. Go with my signs, the two signs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Musa alayhi salam, as we read about them earlier, and continue to do my remembrance. Continue to remember me. Idhaba ila fir'auna innahu tagha. By the way, in the previous ayah, another lesson for us is when we have a tough task, we should continue to remember and pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us. Idhaba ila fir'auna innahu tagha. Go both of you to Fir'aun, and indeed he has transgressed. He has lost his way. He is being cruel. You have to go and give him the dawah and speak to him. فَقَوْلَا لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا لَعَلَّهُ يَتَذَكَّرُ أَوْ يَخْشَى, and speak to him a word that is gentle. Perhaps he may take heed or fear. Again, a point of reflection for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the previous ayah already said that Firaun has transgressed. He is the most cruel, and we know what was happening at that time with the children of Israel or Bani Israel. He was doing the most cruelty. So which is why now Musa alayhi salam has been sent to challenge him. However, even to that tyrant leader and even to that cruel leader, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying the first thing we have to do, or you have to do, is to speak to him a gentle word. Perhaps he may take heed or start fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and come back on the right way. So the point to note for us, Firaun was doing zulm and he had transgressed. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them to speak to him a gentle word so that he may come to the right path. Now the question that comes to our mind is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already knew he wouldn't listen, right? Still he said that. Why did this happen? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has absolute knowledge. He knew the future as well. So he knew that for Firaun, even though Musa alayhi salam will ask him in a gentle way, politely and everything, will try to give him dawah, but still Firaun will not listen. So why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even ask them to start this way? So what can be the hikmah behind it, and why did this happen? Anything that comes to your mind? Yes, Shayan, go ahead.
Sir, okay.
Sorry, Abdullah. Yes, go ahead. And then Shayan, maybe your hand is up. So Abdullah, go ahead.
It's fine, sir. Shayan raised his hand first, so let him go.
No problem. Anyone? Shayan, you want to go ahead?
Yes, so I was saying that basically if Firaun had accepted the word, there would have been no story, or there wouldn't have been any lessons for us to learn later on. Or if Hazrat Musa alayhi salam was told to go to war with him, then there is no point of there being a certain message of Islam, because Islam is a religion of peace. So if he had gone to war, it's equivalent to being Firaun against another Firaun. So over here, I think Allah is trying to teach us all that we should be humble and show patience, as Allah shows us, always shows us another way, a better way to approach things. So we should always listen to him, because he knows the best way to approach things.
Jazakallahu khairan, Shayan. Yes, Abdullah, you have something to add. Please go ahead. Abdullah?
Yeah, although, yeah, Shayan gave a great answer, but I was seeing it through this way, like maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves his servants so much that he still had hope that he might still return on the right path. So
Jazakumullahu khairan, Abdullah. Thank you so much. Yes, so but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we cannot relate that he had hope, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. So he knew. So it's, yes, but you are right on the part that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves his creation so much, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves his creation. Also, Jazakumullahu khairan to both of you, Shayan and Abdullah, for your contribution. And Shayan, you were right, because this story is also teaching us the rules of the game, on how to invite people, on how to face a tyrant ruler, on how to face someone who is doing cruelty. We should invite the tyrant first gently to come to the right path. And if he doesn't listen, then you use aggressive means, or then you use other means, right? So This entire story is a lesson for all generations, all Muslims, non-Muslims. This Quran is a guidance for everyone in this world until the end of times. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also teaching us the principles of engagement, the rules of engagement. If you are facing someone and if you are going against someone, initially you should talk to them gently, softly, so that they may, their hearts may change. And obviously when Musa alayhi salam and his brother, they were going together to Firaun, they did not know. He may listen, he may not listen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may turn his heart soft. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had the absolute knowledge. But obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also teaching all of us the right way to approach. And then eventually the result is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, which is why it is a very, very important point to note and an action for us. Moving forward. قال ربنا إننا نخاف أن يفرط علينا أو أن يطغى. They said, our Lord, indeed we fear that he will hasten against us, or that he will transgress. He can hurt us, he can kill us, he can do a lot of things. So Musa alayhi salam and his brother, now they are they're sharing their fear with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لا تخافا إنني معكما أسمع وأرى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, he said, do not fear, indeed I am with both of you, and I hear and I see. So I am watching the entire operation, you know. So it's like when there is a secret services operation that is happening, and sometimes they show it that, there are multiple people. So there are some people who are going and doing the job, but the other people who are, they're connected, and they're telling them go this way, that way, and they're checking with the cameras and all of that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and now this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with absolute knowledge, right? With absolute knowledge of everything. He's listening, he's hearing, he's watching over them because he's protecting them. So this is also a lesson, this ayah alone, and this is the last ayah of today. Alhamdulillah, we are finishing on time. This is the last ayah of today. This is a lesson for us to become fearless. Who will tell me how? If you read this ayah, then how can this take the fear away from your heart? And because for everything we have to take a lesson upon ourselves as well, and we have to see how we can apply it to our lives. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Musa alayhi salam and his brother, do not fear. Indeed, I am with both of you, and I hear and I see everything. So how can this ayah make us become fearless? What do you guys think? Anything that comes to your mind? Shayan, go ahead.
So basically in this, it's a reminder to us that Allah says that he can hear and see everything. So once we realize that he's there and he sees past, present, future, and he hears everything in the past, present, future, we know that he knows that what is the best thing for us. And that also means that we can realize that he created us. So like a user manual, like whoever creates a product, they give a user manual with it because they know how to best use it. So just like that, if we accept that Allah has created us and he can see and hear everything, that he knows what is best for us, so we shouldn't have to fear from anything he has told us or any hard thing that is coming to us, because we know Allah will create a way.
Excellent. Jazakallahu khairan. Awais, you have your hand raised. Please go ahead, Awais.
Assalamu alaikum, first of all, Sheikh. Sheikh,
sorry,
the
just
meaning of
I am not a sheikh. I'm not a sheikh. I'm just a Quran teacher. I'm not an Islamic scholar. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay. First of all, the meaning of fearless is when someone is in power, like Pharaoh was in power, but Musa alayhi salam was fearless. He has a power. Allah gave him power to speak truth. Okay, he doesn't feel any fear in front of Pharaoh. Okay, so we can take a lesson, like we have to be powerful because we only believe on Allah. So we have to speak on the right path. We have to speak truth. If we are right, so according to Islam, so we have no fear in our hearts. I hope this is my point of view.
Jazakallahu khairan, Awais. Brilliant answer. Brilliant answer. I think you have already presented my next slide. Jazakallahu khairan. Thank you so much. Jazakallah, Shayan, as well as Awais, for your brilliant contributions. So, as you guys said, if we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because that is so important, we can read these ayahs and we can see that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching. And I gave you an example of CCTV camera, that we are being watched and everything is recorded. But if you don't believe in it, then, it won't have any impact in your life. So the important thing is, if we always remember and if we always believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if we believe that He's with us and He's always watching also means He's watching over us, He's also protecting us, that will make you fearless. You will always speak the truth. As both of you said, you will be fearless, because then you will always stick to the truth and you will know this is word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked me not to take interest. So there can be nothing that can benefit me from that money that I will earn from interest or sood. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us halal ways to fulfill our desires. There is no desire that will fulfill my, my desire or feeling if I do it the wrong way. If only it will take me to the wrong path and I will continue to go to that wrong path. So we have to believe in this, that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we start believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and establishing our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we truly believe He's with us and He's always watching, this will make us fearless. Death is the biggest fear that people say, that people have in their lives, right? Oh my God, I may not die. Oh, watch out and everything. So in order to be fearless, you have to believe that once death is given to you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whenever it is destined, the time and day and everything, it will happen. It cannot happen earlier and it cannot happen later. Again, this will make you fearless. So this belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He's always watching, He's with us, this is something that can truly make you fearless. And what does fearless mean? That you always speak the right thing and you don't fear anyone. You don't have to please anyone. To please anyone, you will not change your point of view. To please anyone, you will not say, let me not be, I don't know what this person will say if I say, so this person I know is a banker and I'm having a conversation with him. And if I say interest is haram, maybe then argument will start. He won't like it and he has been working and he's a job and, maybe he can get me, he has good references and he can get me a job. No, don't think all of these things, guys. So believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's always watching, and always stay on the right path and on the side of truth, which is the guidance shared in the Holy Quran and the Hadith and Sunnah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So quickly going through the actions from this class. Number one, always remember we are not alone and our life is being recorded via CCTV cameras and it will be played back on the day of judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned clearly, everything that we hide or everything that we reveal or we say aloud, everything is known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shaitan puts this waswasa or whispers in our ears that, you're alone, you can do it, just do it, just keep watching. My parents are not there and this is not there. We are just friends and we won't tell anyone and let us do this and that. So only truly believing the above fact, if you keep the image of CCTV cameras in your mind, imagine them in your room, imagine them under your blanket when you are holding your mobile phone, imagine them in your washroom, imagine them in your class when you are with your friends or when you with your, if you believe in this fact that you are being watched and everything is recorded and it will be played back on the day of judgment, majority of your sins will go away. But you have to be conscious of this fact. First of all, you have to believe this fact. Second of all, you have to be conscious of this fact all the time, because Shaitan also will try to make you forgetful of this fact that yes, you are not alone. There is no such thing as alone. There is no such thing as secret from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always remember this. Learn the short prayer of Musa alayhi salam. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. This came and it was spread over 4 ayahs that we went today. Whenever you are speaking in public or entering into a debate or argument or trying to convince someone in any form of communication, it can be speech, presentation, writing, email, anything tough that you feel, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you want to seek help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for you. Just have this prayer. This is the best lesson in communication that you will ever get, and the best help in effective communication that you will ever get. Whenever you feel a bit anxious, whenever you feel, they have this term stage fright. Whenever you have this stage fright, meaning when you're about to speak to people and you're feeling oh my God, and there are butterflies in your stomach, try to recite this prayer. Hold it, hold your hand, and just it will strengthen your heart. It will expand your chest, as we went through the entire meaning, and it will help you to be a more effective communicator in order to convince others as well. Number 3, we should invite the tyrant first gently to come to the right path, and if he doesn't listen, then you use. And this we learned that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is about to send Musa alayhi salam to Pharaoh, although he is very cruel, he's doing oppression to people and a lot of cruelties, yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Musa alayhi salam to speak to him gentle way first, so that his heart may become soft, and he may come on the right way, and he may fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the principle that is being set for a conversation that is about to happen. And finally, to be fearless, believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is with us and is always watching, just as we went through in the last part of our lesson. Believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he's with you watching. This is how you can unleash yourself and be totally fearless. This marks the end of today's lesson. I don't know if you guys have any other question or comment before we end the class. Always, you have your hand raised. Is there any other comment, or is it from the previous time?
Yes, sir. I have to share a verse from Quran. Not a verse, like a translation of verse, like a story of Prophet Ibrahim.
Sure.
That he was on the right, so he was on the right, and he was truth. So he doesn't please his father, because he know Allah is with him.
Jazakallah khairan Awais, and you're right. And we went through this story of Ibrahim alayhi salam as well, that Ibrahim alayhi salam went against his father because he was a polytheist, and he was being very respectful. So he did not follow what his father was saying, despite his father was so harsh to him. Still, he was always respectful to his father, and he tried to continue to convince him. But eventually, obviously, we know that his father did not accept the message. Excellent. Jazakumullah khairan for all your contributions, for all your comments. And we end today's lesson with the prayer, Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Purity belongs to Allah, and all praise be to Him. Purity belongs to you, O Allah, and all praise be to you. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship besides you. I beg forgiveness from you, and I repent before you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers. InshaAllah, I will see you next week, and the time we will decide together, InshaAllah.